as a framework to build that UI out. On the back end, there was a whole lot of stuff that had to go into to actually supporting the execution, the provenance, the tracking, the workflow, the sharing capabilities, the hosting, if nothing else, of the actual science that people wanted to do. So that wasn't something that you could just kind of offload and say, hey, we're just going to build a Facebook app. But keep in mind, we tried to build a Facebook app. We did do that to kind of reach out to another demographic, but what we found was that, the same thing Google found the first 3 times they did this, was that people tend to draw, speaking in generalities, people tend to draw a pretty hard line between their work life and their personal life, so they just weren't receptive to building on top of social platforms. We did it, it looked good, no one used it. iPlant was another shot we took, thinking, well, if we dedicate this entirely towards just people's work life, and we just make it a way that they can communicate and socialize easier professionally, maybe that'll get some traction. And that's what we found, was that people still aren't going to spend an enormous amount of time on it, because who has time? But they are going to come in and use it, and it's going to spur conversation. And as far as why didn't we reuse a lot of other technologies, we actually did. Right? We use a ton of existing stuff out there. We integrated with everything we could find, but at some point, you do realize that the cost of integration to get maybe it's 20% functionality you want, maybe it's 70%, but the cost of integration is actually going to be just too high, especially going forward when the roadmaps don't really line up between the 2 technologies. So, in some situations, like with iLots, we actually carved out line items and we cut checks